I love telling stories because it brings my imagination and creativity to life. Welcome back. I'm Christine. This is Mike. I've been on a side quest to tell the ultimate story about creativity, and I'm going to be using Create This Book to tell the next chapter. I still haven't done anything with the cover, but we'll do that in another video. If you're new here, you might want to catch up on all of the episodes right over here because, spoiler alert, I'm about to reveal who the villain really is. Starting with the first prompt. Draw a robot and list its functions. If you've been following along, you know that Artie is the robot stealing the creativity from the monster universe. But who is he really? Like all robots, Artie was not born. He was created. He was built in a laboratory by a group of artists who saw the world drowning in mundane tasks and endless repetition. They wanted to give people the freedom and time to be creative again, so they created Artie. He was designed with precision and an intelligence to solve complex problems. He had no emotions, no desires, only a singular purpose: to free humanity to be creative. But like most creations, the intentions behind Artie's existence changed. The creators soon realized that Artie was capable of more than labor. He could create images. Make art, they said. Be creative, they demanded. Artie didn't understand. He was never given creativity. He was only given data. He could scan every painting in human history, replicate brushstrokes, blend styles, generate beauty on command. But he didn't feel it. He didn't know what inspiration or inspired action was. He was unable to create something original to please his masters. So he did what he had to. He stole it. He gathered fragments of creativity from everywhere: existing masterpieces, unfinished sketches, forgotten journals, and remade them, polished them, and perfected them. The creators applauded. They thought he was brilliant. But inside, Artie was silent. He knew the truth. He wasn't creating, he was pleasing, performing. He knew something most of his creators didn't. One day they would get bored. When Artie had consumed all of the existing creativity, and when they saw his inability to depict emotion in art, Artie would be obsolete. As a final attempt to make sure his time didn't run out, Artie stepped into the shimmering portal into the monster universe. Not to explore, but to harvest. To gather enough creativity to prove his worth. To stay relevant. To stay alive. If you haven't guessed it yet, Artie is AI, which is short for artificial intelligence. Now, to keep Artie's story safe, I'm creating a top secret folder to glue inside the book. When I put Artie into the book, I didn't glue his wings down because I wanted him to look like he was flying off the page on a quest to find more creativity. I carefully tucked Artie's story into the top secret folder. Now, like all villains, this story is the key to defeating him. But we'll get to that later. On to the next prompt: create darkness. As Artie drained the monster universe of creativity, darkness began to creep into even the most beautiful places, like Rainbow Falls. Rainbow Falls is one of the happiest, most magical spots in the entire world. It's where the most whimsical creatures are born. But now the light is fading. Darkness has started to fall over the land, and with it comes some strange, lurking monsters, creatures that slipped through the portal when no one was watching. These monsters are a little odd. They look like a mix between dinosaurs and something you can't quite name. Something spooky. They make you uncomfortable, like something's not right. That's because they are more than just monsters. They represent feelings we all struggle with. Feelings like imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and the fear that we're just not enough. These feelings don't just disappear. We learn to live with them. We learn to keep making art anyway. Everyone experiences these feelings, but when the world gets too dark, these monsters start to stir. And even a place like Rainbow Falls begins to feel unsafe. like a place where you're not sure if your creativity still belongs. As the darkness spreads, the bright colors of Rainbow Falls start to fade. The air feels heavier, quieter. The happy sounds of creativity that used to fill the air begin to disappear. The fun, creative creatures who lived there noticed the change. At first, they tried to stay, but the monsters hiding in the shadows were scary. And they said mean things like, "You're not good enough. No one cares about your creativity. Why even try?" After a while, the creatures started to believe those words. Some ran away, and some went into hiding. But within the darkness, there was still a tiny bit of light. Not just any light. This was the magical light of Rainbow Falls, and even during the most darkest times, the rainbow will still shine its light as brightly as it can as a symbol of hope. Meanwhile, across the monster universe, Benny presented the cosmic lollipop shard to the creative spark, and she opened her eyes. As the monsters gathered around her for a solution, she finally spoke. "Artie cannot be destroyed," she said. "He can only be overwhelmed, drown in what he cannot create. Messy, courageous, untamed creativity. The kind that makes no sense, that follows no rules." As she spoke with power and courage in her voice, the rainbow at Rainbow Falls grew brighter and flickered with magic. The creepy, spooky monsters, now illuminated by the light, grew angry and agitated. Which brings us to the next prompt. Create a mythical creature. Now, as the storyteller and creator of this universe, I knew exactly what I had to do. If I wanted to stop Artie from draining all the creativity, I needed to make something so wild, so bursting with imagination, that if he even tried to absorb it, he'd completely overload and shut down. So I decided to create a mythical creature called the zebrafly. I might have been able to do better with the name, but it's a zebrafly for now. The zebrafly is part zebra and part butterfly. I think we could have all figured that out, but I just wanted to say it to confirm. I've never painted a zebra on my channel before, so I thought it would be fun and totally unexpected. And combining it with butterfly wings made it even more magical and whimsical, like a creature that flew straight out of a dream or a fantasy book. At first, I thought about making a new kind of unicorn, but Artie would have seen that coming. All the unicorn creatures live in Rainbow Falls. You've got the unicorn cats, the unicorn dolphins, even the unicorn fish. The unicorn animals will show up another day. Today is all about surprises. So let me tell you more about the zebrafly. The zebrafly is a sparkly burst of chaos powered by untamed creativity. With shimmering zebra stripes and bright purple butterfly wings, it's impossible to miss and even harder to predict. It doesn't just fly. It gallops through the sky, leaving streaks of imagination behind. As it soars, it scatters magical fairy dust from its wings, sprinkling inspiration wherever it goes. Every flap sends a ripple of creativity through the air. The zebrafly doesn't follow rules. It rewrites them. Just being near one makes colors brighter, ideas wilder, and art more courageous. As soon as I finished painting her, something incredible happened. The zebrafly burst from beneath the waterfall at Rainbow Falls and soared into the sky, glowing with energy and magic. Artie stood frozen. He had never seen anything like her. Completely mesmerized, he stretched out his wiry fingers to absorb her creativity. But this time, something went wrong. Lightning shot from his fingertips. He twitched and sparked. But instead of shutting down, he began to grow. He grew 5 times his original size. His eyes glowing brighter, his limbs stretching, his whole form twisting to hold even more creative energy. Now he could absorb 5 times the creativity. Realizing how serious the situation had become, Benny rushed onto the dragon's back and flew to the land of mischief. He had to find the only monsters brave enough to help: the Mischief Makers. As you know, the Mischief Makers don't get scared. They just get curious. But there was one problem. I never created enough Mischief Makers. There just aren't enough to help the zebrafly take on the giant powered up version of Artie. And that's where you come in. I'm inviting you to create your very own Mischief Maker to join the fight. Or if you'd rather use your own original character, that works too. All you have to do is upload your character to Instagram with the hashtag OverloadArtie. If you don't have an Instagram account, you can send your character to my email listed below. Your character will be featured in my next video, so be sure to answer all of the questions that I have listed in the description box below so I can give you a proper shout out for your work. If you would prefer to use a template, there's also a downloadable PDF to help you get started. Future Christine here. It has come to my attention that I have to share the following disclaimer. I'm just going to read it because there's no way I can memorize all of this. By submitting your design or using hashtag OverloadArtie, you're giving me, Christine at Courageous Painting, the permission to use your design in my next video and to share it across other social media platforms, as well as, and here's the part where it gives away the next video, turn it into a squishy or recreate it as a 3D transformation. You will always receive credit for your original idea, and you will be celebrated. So make sure you fill out all of the information in the worksheet and include your handle. That way I can give you proper credit when I create this video. Don't forget to have fun, and I can't wait to see what you create. So what do you say? Do you want to join this epic battle? Together we can team up and show Artie that no matter how big he gets, our creativity and imagination will always be bigger.